What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for finally episode 10 of Tyranny of Dragons. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. And man, does it feel like a Monday. But we're here now, baby. And we got very short time to get anything in due to all of my shit breaking. So we're going to try to make the best of this hour and 40 minutes that we can. So, Ted, you got any announcements? Time to...
I don't. I'll roll it over to Noah.
Hey, everybody. I just got a quick announcement. We have this wonderful image now. Natural Pine toothpicks. I'm having the minty one myself, the winter mint. It's fantastic. We're going to have they're going to be available for sale later. But we actually have some nice, fantastic art. Also, if you haven't listened to Forgotten Pats, make sure you do so. That's about it. You know.
More importantly, chat, Noah finally realized that he does have a toothpick.
Yeah.
In his image below.
It's got a toothpick.
That's really the most important announcement of all this week.
Nelson's got a toothpick.
Yeah, and you know what? We don't have any announcement for Ray at the moment because he's working hard over here being a dad. But he does have a Substack out there, and you need to go check it out because Ray's got things to say, and that's what's most important. So if you want to hear the things that Ray has to say, go check out RayApollo Substack. I don't know the link to the address, but if you look, find where all good RayApollos are sold. Eventually we'll have that easy link. But yeah, look for that out there. Yeah, in my world, we did schedule just got out here about like 30 minutes ago. Surprise, surprise, it's the same thing. We're trying over here. We're trying real hard to just get to play D&D, but for some reason, my computers like to treat me worse than my own dog after I leave for a week. And they go haywire. So we're here. We're getting stuff done. YouTube is going to get caught up this week. I know we have some episodes that have not released on their days. I am very aware of that, and we're going to try to get that all tidied up this week. The good news is you're not missing a whole lot because a lot of them are shows that are only like 2 hours long because we had tech issues going into them. But yes, we're going to get caught up. And we realize that we're not even live on YouTube right now for our folks, but we're going to try to get there. We're going to try to get there before it's all done. We're going to spin as many plates as humanly possible to get this thing done. And we'll close out.
Hey Nelson, can I use code corn liquor to get a discount on those Natural Pine toothpicks?
Use code con liquor. You get yourself a discount on these Natural Pine toothpicks.
My.
I actually need to talk to them, see if they'll do that for me.
Radio delivers from evil, my friend.
Dude, there's nothing I can do to deliver you from your tech gremlins, brother.
There he is, the better Taffy.
I was gonna say, you could just slide me over to his box. Nobody will know.
Over. Yeah.
Oh, yo, the technical debt. But you know what? We can do this. For the meme.
Going so slow.
For the meme. I'm using the arrow commands. Hey, welcome, Taffy.
Bravo. I like to say that I'm happy to be here, but I hate all of you, and I just do this for the clicks. So
I'm future.
It's like he's right here.
Future retired streamer. If you want to see the 9800th time I play Binding of Isaac, whatever, come in. Like, probably just gonna talk about food anyway.
If you want to give me money, I'm okay with that. I'm just working on my retirement at this point.
Food and depression.
My man's trying to crash out like Anthony Bourdain without the record. I gotta help him out.
Heard.
Oh man, and now I gotta fix. Look at this. Now I gave Ted a booster seat, and now he's back. He's normally
sorry.
He stands up at the beginning of the show, but I know where Ted ends. Ted's usually he's a relaxer. I get it. I do the same thing on his show because I know that I don't have to worry about myself.
I had to get a little stretch my shoulders out here from typing out everything for the past. fucking 10 hours today.
My man's got the VTT man flu. Oh, the hard carry. The hard carry.
Ted, thanks for all you do. We really appreciate all your hard work.
Ted actually deserves it. Ted actually deserves it on this.
If you guys get loot tomorrow, you're welcome. I don't know if you're at a spot where you guys are going to get loot, but you're going to have brand new tables, my friend.
If they don't die.
Yeah. Much like tonight, we have to stay alive.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Okay, so if we do all players owner and save, then theoretically you guys should be able to see Ted's tables. No.
Oh, really? Huh.
This is one of those weird things where it doesn't want to save after you. Yeah. All right, so it's not under anything, and you could technically configure ownership. Let's just do this. We're gonna do stream view, and we're gonna make it, and then we're gonna play players none, and see if that does it. Sometimes it wants you to individualize it. No, that one's gonna be for another day.
Apparently.
Oh no. Okay, I forgot. You have to open up the folder, so you can't right-click the main folder and have everything else work. You have to go to each individual subfolder and then let everybody be an owner of all of the subfolders.
Oh, that's overly annoying.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of doing it for one, but hey, we got this because the world deserves to see this.
Yeah, you're too kind.
The world deserves to see this. It's the turnover time on this chat for this man has children. This man
Less than
has
24
children.
hours. Let's be clear. He gave me access this morning.
Yeah, this
and we
morning.
did the whole thing today.
He has children and a job,
That's true. Both of those things.
and his job is doing this.
It's not.
It's
I wish it was
not.
doing this.
Oh, look at it. Oh, the stream can't see it. It doesn't.
He gets so excited.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there
There
we
it
go.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I can push it. I push it real
Wow.
good. It
looks so good.
Look at these TED tables.
It's so pretty. I love the color coding. Oh my God.
That's my only contribution to all of Ted's hard work, was knowing where the icons were to organize them from red, green, blue, purple to gold.
That's really cool.
So we now have consumables on their own. We have all of the D&D official items are all in here now from all the books.
And the movie, believe it or not. We have the couple of items from the D&D movie in here as well. The Helm of Disjunction, the Hither-Tither Staff. All that stuff made its way in here too.
Let's go.
Mostly because that's in D&D Beyond, but that's besides the point.
Booyah. Ted's table. Coming to a table near you.
Big fan.
Soon.
I'm a big fan of you, Radio. So
Oh, quit it.
that means you want me to keep going, right?
My favorite part is people that are going to come in here later on that don't ever recognize the fact that it's you and not Taffy. And when this replays in perpetuity, it will just continue to be like, is that the guy?
That
No, he's got too much of a tan.
He's too
Because
happy. Why is he smiling?
he occasionally goes outside.
Oh, by the way, before we start this, can you please let the audience know that I was justified in concerns for your health last week?
Yeah, we'll rehash it tomorrow as well. But I for some reason I just went on new blood pressure medication because my old one wasn't getting it done. I actually read the warnings on the label with the new one 2 weeks after I had been on them, realizing that the medication I'm on makes me more sensitive to the sun. Well, what I've been doing every single day, walking 2 to 5 miles with my wife in the sun without the proper protection.
he shows up on stream the color of an old town brick building, and I go, oh my God, are you okay? What? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I go, there's your camera or your color, what's your white balance? And then I realized that no, it's him.
Wow.
He was burnt. You guys will all be able to see that when it's YouTube live tomorrow, a day after when it should.
I prefer the term sun-kissed. I think he was sun-kissed.
Yeah, very sun-kissed.
Oh,
now,
man.
Now I wear the big brim hat and I have all the proper lotions.
He was the color red of the pumice lava rock in front of McDonald's. That's
I know
Wow.
exactly what
That is a core memory. Wow.
Wow. He's redder than a strawberry.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh, you're.
But we need to pick up where we left off last session, which is very easy to describe as Taffy number 1 instead of Taffy number 2, who we currently have, decided to run off into a cave of which Neeson, our agent of the Harper, had just revealed to him happened to be a black dragon hatchery. As he ran into the cave, he quickly found himself confronted by ropers that were waiting inside the cavern to raise him up and munch on him like a nice little dragonborn snack. Thankfully, the rest of the party showed up in time to save Taffy from himself. As Ilkun quickly found out that this world does have consequences and you can F around and find out. Picking up where I thought we would start 2 weeks ago, the party has heard the roar of that black dragon somewhere in the depths of these catacombs. You guys have walked back to safety after defeating those ropers. Currently, Ilkun is taking a long walk around the encampment and gorge. The rest of you have arrived back at your sentinel tower, which is the safety that you have amidst all of this chaos. As your DM, we have an hour and a half before hard out. I highly recommend that you may touch upon some general lore, as it is now episode 10 and no one really knows much about us because we've been in fight or flight.
Yeah.
1 episode because of Taffy, 9 episodes because of me.
Yeah.
At least you own it.
That's fair.
Module day. That's my new that's my Hogan's Heroes. It's the module told me to do it.
Yeah, in your defense, it is 100% true. This module is go, 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 go. And you were more gracious than the module.
True.
Which has us doing almost everything we did at level 1.
Horrible.
So
if I recall correctly, Vaknor, you're going to put your fancy little tower in front of that entrance there, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to make sure when we drop it that the tower blocks the cave entrance so that nobody can go in case they get bright ideas again. Just close it off with the non-door facing the back so there's no issues of things inside trying to break the door down. We're just going to block it. That way we can still have the safety of an adamantine tower and all that good and stuff, but also lock all the other shit inside the cavern.
What time
like
of day
the
is
black
it?
dragon.
It's in nighttime.
Oh yeah, this is the day that we finished the encounter. I mean, it still smells like ozone from the thunderheads in the distance. There's still a lot of general warfare that's left out here. There's a lot of unalived individuals.
Yeah.
How would you guys like to proceed as the tower door is once again open and respite for the entire group?
I reckon somebody ought to make a fire.
I want to take a long rest, RoBear. That's what I want to do. If we're being honest, that's what I want.
You are in zero threat. You are 100% plot armored up. You can absolutely discuss, unless one of you wants to somehow burrow through into that cave, which by all means, there's more ropers to be found.
Oh, Lord.
They weren't before, but in case you want to run in, they'll be there.
More importantly, Vaknor, I am assuming that the tower has been created partially in your image.
Oh, okay.
What does the comfort of a country boy can survive like Vaknor look like in this fire and hearth, this central common room look like?
Yeah, it's not overly cushy or decadent in any way. Obviously you have, a large kind of roaring fireplace there, and you've got comfortable but sturdy kind of wooden chairs all around the outside. You've got a table there. There's probably decks of cards and things for just keeping it simple, but just keeping yourself occupied and entertained.
Could one say that it reflects a deer hunting camp or lodge or dove camp?
100%. Yes, yeah. If you've ever been to one of those, or if you know, many variety of animal heads all about the wall here. There'd be, you've probably got like a bow rack if this would be a gun rack, but I mean, we're not dealing too much with firearms in this campaign. Have 1 out of the 5 that RoBear has. We got nobody that uses firearms in it, so we'll have a bow rack and maybe like a bunch of fishing poles with tackle boxes and things like that. And everything, it's either it was original to this tower, or it looks like it was just kind of picked up somewhere and just like somebody didn't need this thing, so we're gonna send it to the hunting cabin kind of a thing. So it's just sort of piecemeal furniture and stuff.
That's
all
how
over
it
the place.
always. Dude, the comfiest chair that's been exiled from the house remains there.
There's like a random like tennis racket snowshoe hanging on the wall or something.
Yep. Yeah, you don't know why there's a spool. They don't have electrical wire here, but there's a spool at the side table. Like, that's just how it is. Like,
end up furniture.
Yeah, exactly. Blink dogs playing poker on the wall, stuff like that.
There is one addition that is new since you've last been in here. I believe his name was Gus, correct?
Yes.
There is a picture of Gus, who, very World of Warcraft, we've killed the raid boss. It is Gus, first and foremost, standing and posing between the wyverns. The rest of you are in the background as like this secondary force. It's mainly you guys that are trying to figure out how to carve this up, but Gus is definitely flexing as a berserker with his axe, and it is adorned and immortalized on the wall.
Love that. I think well, he'll be back in 5 days. Yeah, I think in a very much the same way, you bringing that up in a same way that Vaknor has kind of gone through multiple rituals throughout various instances, kind of celebrating either protecting of innocence or kind of righting personal wrongs, as well as commending kind of great kills and defeating of things. We're gonna have those sort of images on the wall. Like, we're probably gonna have like a stylized oil painting of just a cart exploding with a bunch of cultists like flying out of the way, like on the wall there. We'll probably have one, two, we'll throw it up there too, of Ilkun kind of just, or all of us just sort of taking out Cyan Wrath in Greenest, you know, all of the kind of major accomplishments that we've had will just continue to appear on the wall to sort of be a tapestry to tell the story of our party as time has gone on here.
That's cool.
That's magic. Why not, right? Have fun with it.
Gotta have some creature comforts.
Yeah.
Vaknor, I really like what you've done with the place.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of a simpler time in some ways, but I don't know, it just feels, well, this is going to be our home away from whatever kind of home we have, so I feel it might as well be comfortable.
Well, you can take the bartender out of the bar, but you can't take the bar out of the bartender? I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but you want me to
Aren't you supposed to be one of the smart ones?
Neither do I. I don't. What do you say?
Listen, I've got a lot of charisma, not a lot of intelligence.
I think he was trying to say you can't take the bar out of the bartender.
Right. So,
Sure.
Anybody want some corn liquor? I'm pouring.
No, I'll pass. But just a moment of, I guess, vulnerability. And none of this is normal, right?
What is
We
normal?
all know that this isn't normal. None
Like
of this.
Like the tower, or
No, no, not. Do you? What we just did is not normal, by any means, for anyone.
you mean like murdering an entire valley of cultists?
That's pretty normal.
If you want to put it bluntly, yes.
I don't know what your normal is, but
I was going to say,
mine was rodeo.
what constitutes normal for you?
Listen, what we've managed to do in just these few days is something you'd only read about. You have to admit that that's true.
I dare say that there's a whole tapestry to be dedicated to our exploits the last few days.
I mean, -1 if I have my way. But listen, I'm sorry that was a moment of anger. I apologize. I did not. Anyway, that's beyond the point. No, this isn't normal for me at all. I would like to let you know that I'm very good in a fight, but that's not because I want to be. That's because I have to be. Do you know why we're here?
You mean like here in this canyon? Sorry.
I
It was different
might fight you next.
I mean, just confirming, this isn't like a metaphysical why are we here. This is like a, like what we're doing. I mean, we were sent, I mean, if we fought, not trying to, let's just follow the train of thought of where we are from where we got to how we're here now. We were sent on a mission to find someone. We found him in Greenest, right?
Right.
Then saved him. Then they said, go find my friend, which is, and I'll gesture over to Nisim, who is here this whole time, this Tabaxi, that's just like kind of unconscious. And I'd be like, and then we were sent to find them.
You went to the hatchery.
Nice.
Neeson faints again.
Well, okay. Well, again, we found them. So
That was good.
if we're following what we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to bring them back safely back to Leos, and that was our plan. We just kind of got embroiled in a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna guess, Amatti, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like. Does everything normally just, and listen, maybe you're a good luck charm. Does everything normally just go according to plan when you do things? Because that's never been my experience.
he laughs like out loud. He goes, actually, quite the opposite.
All right.
For the most part, yes. And I guess we can go. I'm not gonna do it mine, sorry, but he's gonna go. My eldest brother died when I was very young. We were
Sorry.
twins. So am I. But of course, this is one of those situations of he just was better at everything. He was the good one, the kind one. I enjoyed reading, I enjoyed training, but I did not enjoy people. But I guess every family has its secrets, and ours was also one of those in ways that I'm still trying to figure out. But I do know that me being here is for a reason. And I would like for each of you to promise me that you will not put any of us into jeopardy again, just on a whim. I've got too much to go back to.
Well, I dare say you won't have to worry about that from me. I tend to not stick my neck out.
Well, this is good to hear.
I mean, listen, you're one of the lucky ones that's got something to go back to. Not a lot of us have that, so that's kind of nice for you. Listen, I'm not gonna say I'm overly cautious, but I'm not trying to run into stuff all reckless. There's a lot that can be analyzed when you're figuring this stuff out, and I mean, I've lived this long, and it's not for rushing into things, so.
And that's why I like you. Yes. You lead with your brain, not with whatever he led with. But that's beyond the point. I would like you to know that
throws a stack of letters down on the center table that all have elaborate chromatic wax seals on all of them. If that was the case, why'd you respond to the letter? Before any of this adventure transpired, we now know that it was the Harpers that sent us these individual letters of heeding to a call. Largely a psyop in itself to try to find Dragonborn that had a reputation above their own trope. Individuals relayed information into the main hub that is their intelligence and collection. Everyone that was here was held in high report. Series of letters have been sent to us over a period of time. Whether it was the first one that called to you or whether it was the 9th. Eventually, all of us have responded. Because at some point in our lives, we've been judged by the color of our own scales. And we live in a world that is under siege and that seemingly day by day tries to tell us and represent us to the general public as something we may or may not be. Your reasoning for accepting this letter and joining the party, and all of them have been addressed simply as your own chromatic color. On the front. Almuron sets that stack down in the middle. This would be the last communication that you received, one that put us together in a hovel outside of Greenest. This is the first time that we have spent this amount of time together. So everyone is experiencing these personalities and human moments together. Almuron holds yours with the white seal on the front. Amatti. You say you have high stakes back home. What made you accept?
I can't say that I didn't have a choice because I did make the choice. But there was no one else who was going to do it but me. So, here we are, in hopes that maybe I can actually make something of myself rather than just being what we were known for.
There will
He's
be
gonna hold out his
times
hand.
where we see even greater danger than we did in the last 48 hours. Now, I can promise I'm not running into any caves anytime soon.
Oh, well, that's small blessings.
Not without a proper rest. But look, sometimes curiosity kills. He fought valiant in battle. He obviously stirs in the downtime. Let us take note. Almuron's going to take that pile of letters that have been sitting in here, and he's going to go over and throw them in the fire.
Huh.
You're the past now. We have forged our own future. We won't get the benefit of rolling into the cult of the dragon as a group of random, chromatic emphatics. Word will spread. If there's any thoughts of your commitment today versus what is back home, I suggest you make that trek back. Your time is not a commodity that we have now. We may not succeed in defeating the cult of the dragon. If that is the case, there is no gold that will bring back your time with your loved ones. There's no amount of treasure or reward that will make that loss feel any less. Almuron is going to go over to one of the chairs that is near the fire, set his shield down for the first time in what feels like days. His arm is so tense from being held out in a shield up position that his hand is cramped and stuck in that. He can't even pick up a flagon of ale with his left shield hand. And he just stares at those embers.
Nelson's gonna walk over, sit across from Almuron, not interacting with him, diametrically opposed on the other side of the fire, giving him space that he needs, clearly. He's gonna lean back in his chair, kick his boots out in front of him, feel the warmth of the fire licking at his legs. He's gonna swirl the liquor in his jug, watching the firelight catch on the surface of the bottle, and take a slow sip. That first burn is really sharp. The second one is more familiar, and it doesn't really warm him the way that it used to. Kind of takes in the quiet, hears the wind going through the valley outside. Because on a night like this, with the right drink, he can almost convince himself that he's back at the tavern. He pulls a stone out of his pocket, the familiar stone that he had in Greenest. Some people might have seen it. Kind of feels the weight of it. Takes another long swig, and his fingers tighten around the stone, and he exhales and just kind of mutters, "All right, love. Let's pretend for a moment." And then he presses his thumb to the stone.
Almuron turns and looks at you. I'm not your love.
I'm not talking to you.
He just now notices the stone that's in your hand. My bad.
An image of a woman is going to flicker into place over top of the stone, standing as if she's behind a bar with a knowing smirk on her lips. Her hands are going to rest on her hips. She's not quite solid. She's not quite real. She's got brown hair loosely braided over one shoulder and a soft smile that carries the warmth of this home that Nelson can't return to. And he's going to continue. A drink after a long day. It's like home, Lydia. Damn thing burns like fire on the way down. Not like the cider they used to make. You'd steep it for hours, and the whole place would smell like cinnamon. I swear it kept half the regulars coming back. And he'd stow in a pause and just look at her expectantly.
Almuron turns his head, much as if anybody in a public setting begins to have a conversation on a cell phone in front of almost strangers. He looks back to make eye contact with Vaknor, Amatti, and I almost said Ilkun.
Yeah, I know.
Hister. Giving you all the eyes as if we may have lost one here.
How much of that cognac is he had to drink?
Yeah.
Hey,
You're just having a very weird personal conversation with someone no one knows any about inside of the common room at the moment, and we don't know who Lydia is or what exactly you're doing. So at this point, it's Warlock shit.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And you get the sense that Nelson really doesn't care.
I told you he was creepy.
I'm really... Does he know we can hear him?
I mean, probably he's creepy. He would enjoy it.
That's fair enough.
Until he was one of the guys who got picked last.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but...
Maybe. Do you think he would put himself in a position to be picked? I don't think so. He would just talk his way in, right?
That sounds like you all have reasons to be here.
I mean-
Sport.
Well, that must be nice. But yeah. Should we tap him on the shoulder and see if he's like awake?
Why don't you go do that, Amatti?
I will not be doing that, actually.
Nelson, what was it that you asked Lydia again?
I didn't ask a question.
Okay.
Very specifically. I talked about the cider she used to make at the tavern.
Yes. Almuron is going to lean over to you, Nelson. If you don't mind me,
Oh, it's fine. This is just a conversation. You're welcome. Join.
I don't know if that is my place. And he's going to hold his prayer beads, and he's going to have that onk of Amonkhet around his neck. seeing that this is a projection. Is this an active conversation or a record? As his innateness as a cleric of death and crossing over, he doesn't quite know if this projection is just a recording of a friend or a loved one, or if this is an active conversation that's happening.
Yeah.
His main concern is immediately back to his work, that maybe all of this loss of life is manifesting in maybe a not so well way for you. And he's immediately kind of goes into work mode.
Almuron. Whether she's here or it's a recording, I'm truly not sure. My lady gave me a way to talk to Lydia, and so I do, just as if we were in the tavern together, and she talks and we speak, and I get to ask her one question a day.
And your lady gave this to you. Is this a sister, family member, cousin?
No, this was my wife.
You had a wife? He just yells from across the room. Sorry. I was just that was surprising information. I was not expecting that.
Right.
It takes him a second before he processes that my lady might actually mean something a little bit different than when he initially thought.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a perception check on you. And I'm going to look for anything. Actually, I'm going to do a religion check. I'm going to look for anything I might recognize as a holy symbol.
Oh, you're not going to have to perceive too hard because it's nighttime.
What do you mean? You just happy to see him?
That was good.
You're killing me, Ray. You're killing me.
I'm sorry. It was a long day. I'm sorry.
Ray. All right, I'm going to roll with it.
All right. Natural 1.
Oh,
as
Jesus.
as it should be.
Good.
Scanning over you and just really just focusing on the sending stone and the interaction that you're having, knowing nothing of really what's going on, like all good individuals and the Golden Girls, he's gonna shut his mouth and just listen.
Nelson, seeing this, is gonna nod, smile, and turn back to Lydia as though awaiting her response.
To be clear, you did not ask me a question.
Nope, just engaging in communication.
Hmm.
Conversation, routine banter between a husband and his wife, RoBear.
You have instructed me in a very, very set of interactions with this. You need to DM me if this is above or beyond what the scope you initially proposed for me.
Yeah, I'll be real fast on that.
The rest
While
of
this
you
is happening.
Yes, thank you.
I got you. I'll look over to Amatti and be like, maybe it was before all the tentacles.
I mean,
Maybe that.
I don't know. People.
I'm gonna hope it was before all the tentacles.
I mean, think about it. People who like that stuff seem to find each other, so probably not.
I mean, maybe that You might be onto something. It's a
It's
mutual
not that
agreement.
I was surprised that he is.
I mean, it seemed like you
married.
were pretty surprised. You seemed pretty surprised.
That was my mistake. I was caught off guard emotionally. I did not expect that to come out of his mouth. I'll be honest. But I'm just more surprised that he brought it up now. Which is also fine. We all have our reasons. But
yeah, when everybody's just kind of hanging out, having a conversation, and then you just go into a random conversation on speakerphone in the middle of the room is kind of odd. But I guess that's everybody.
I would say I've never done that before.
Now, what's a phone?
A what?
A speaker stone in the middle of the room.
Add it to the table.
Add it to the table. Devon, get the table.
Get the table. But I will say, he seems a little different when he's talking about or with whomsoever he's talking with, which is interesting, for sure.
Agreed.
Listening, the rest of you hear a very wispy and ethereal voice emit from this individual that is now known as Lydia, Nelson's partner. Some things never change, do they, Nelson? All of these other beverages, and you still partake of that awful swill. I can remember the smell in the shed like it was yesterday. So much spent grain. At least the animals loved it.
Nelson's gonna give a sly smile and kind of looking over at Almuron, who he notices is still listening. He's just kind of like lean over, talking to both Lydia and Almuron, and say, I'll remember the last drink she and I had together. Just the two of us. Mulled wine. You remember that, Lydia? You remember that last night?
I used to. Those were better times.
Are you hearing this, or is it just me?
And then, as she responds, she disappears.
There's a whole lot to unpack right there.
So, are you going to explain any of this, or are we just going to pretend like it didn't happen?
Oh, I mean, you were talking about all the things you have to fight for back home. And Almuron made a big show of talking to us all about how we all wish we could have more time. So I thought maybe it was time to show you that sometimes there's other things worth fighting for. That was Lydia.
Your wife?
She was.
He kind of looks around. It's like,
for someone with a gift of gab, you're a horrible liar.
Oh,
Is that
wait.
Almuron?
It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with the rest of us. It's okay, Nelson. And Almuron's gonna get up from the fire. He's gonna double tap you on your shoulder. We all process loss, love, in our own ways. And he's gonna go outside and get some fresh air.
Nelson's gonna stare at the fire for the first time, just kind of speechless and glassy-eyed.
While all that's going on, and we're just kind of Amatti and Hister and Vaknor just kind of like in this awkward chatting with each other while all this is going down. I'm gonna go make a medicine check and be like, listen, I don't know what y'all have heard, but going unconscious for like 15 minutes, that's real bad for your brain. I'm gonna go check on Nisa, make sure there's still a pulse there.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
What are you doing?
Oh no.
What are you? Someone went there?
just check,
Fine,
make
he
sure.
keeps yelling out of the back something about don't go in the dragon hatcheries. Somebody with him.
Right. By the way, we should talk about a black dragon hatch.
Right.
Just there, over there, behind us.
Vaknor,
I
give me
feel like
that
we just got
medicine check.
All right, let's get a medicine check here. All right. 16?
You get there just in the time where Neeson really needs a hand or a shoulder, as the ethereal sickness is setting in of that train ride that Nelson took him on in and out of the ethereal.
Oh, yeah.
The first time that this man has ever experienced that in his life.
Oh.
He's just
Whoops.
he's as pale as he was when he was in the ethereal.
The ethereal bends.
Yeah, just it's all. I mean, I think it's gonna be all right. I'll be honest. I've never done it myself, but it looked like I don't know. Nelson seems fine, so I think you'll be all right.
No, he
That's
doesn't.
what
He just yells from over his shoulder. He does not seem fine, actually. No, he doesn't.
That's what the liquor's for.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to just get him to, all right. Anyway, I'll just pat him on the back while he's like dealing with this.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to know that everyone is okay. And as you see, I clearly tend to deal with very, I guess, serious, stressful situations with humor. But I'm very thankful that we all got out of that all right, because there was a chance that none of us did, to be honest. But I trust all of you for the most part. He kind of looks towards the door. I know that no matter what happens going forward, that I will fight for each of you, regardless of what's going on, because you've proven this to me time and time again just recently. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go. Do we have rooms? Do we pick one? Do we pick rooms, or do we just open a door and?
It's like 3 floors, so you got plenty of room to go up.
So I'm just gonna, go turn in for the evening before I turn into a snow pumpkin. Nelson,
Yeah,
you're not as creepy as I thought. Just for the record.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Hister, I'm always glad that you're here to save us exactly when we need you. Somehow. I appreciate that.
Bahamut provides the sword when it's needed.
Why does he always say everything and it's just cool every single time? Oh, well, Vaknor, as I'm assuming, I'm just gonna name you team leader. I do appreciate the way that you've carried yourself, because there were times where I might not have responded as well.
It's all right. This whole apparently team leader thing you're saying, this is all new to me too. So this is I'm just trying to survive and help my people I'm with survive. That's what it's always been about. So,
Well, that is a good goal to have, and I thank you for it. And with that, I take my leave. He gives like a little bow, and he goes to find the stairs to wander off upstairs.
and I do want to point out that it's all like twin beds because this is a.
Oh my God!
Nobody has, it's twin beds. It's like it's grandma's quilt on one bed. You know how it is. None of the bedding matches at all. It's all
Right.
just mismatch.
So-
because I could make it all really cushy, but this is what feels right. It's just like the basic on everything. So
Amazing.
So after he's gone for a minute, it's been quiet for a second. You just hear from up something just randomly yelling, "What the hell is this supposed to be? Who lives like this?"
just push two of them together. I yell up the stairs.
You just hear a door slam.
The bed get pushed across the floor.
Like two of those blankets that are just like slightly too short.
Too
You know,
short.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
slightly
Stretchy.
too short.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Mr. Faust, mind's eye. You arrive in an undisclosed location inside Waterdeep. Braden Barley has summoned you personally. And if it's not a tavern, a county fair, or a festival, you're really not quite sure what you're in for. This is 2 weeks prior to the day. The room is barren. Looks like it's an old shut down shop near the main market area. There's some simple pastries that have been wrapped up in a small basket that sit there on the counter. One in particular being a lemon cake. Actually, they're all lemon cakes.
Barley! Damn it. I hate lemon cakes.
I do too, but it's the only thing they ever buy us when we come into Waterdeep. You know the Harpers are cheap as shit.
That doesn't explain why we're not drinking unlimited beer at a tavern right now.
Well, you're probably going to want to drink after we get done with this.
Well, it's always a fun adventure when we get to hang out. What'd you call me for?
Yeah. He takes a similar size picnic basket and he sets it on the counter.
It's in the box.
And he starts pulling out stacks of letters with chromatic seals on them.
The hell is all this?
These are all the damn letters that we sent off. I wish we'd never gotten a response back. I wish I could say that with confidence that this basket meant nothing. But with that letter, there's a corresponding one where you see the Harper's logo on it. He opens it up and there's a hand-drawn sketch. "22 years old. Not even shit in colors yet." He shows you the picture. He didn't even make it halfway to Greenest before they ran him through.
Great Bahamut.
He pulls out a stack. You don't want to know what failure looks like? I got it for you. pulls out picture after picture and sets them down of chromatic Dragonborn. We thought we were so slick. We thought it was our Hail Mary. All we did was get every one of these kids killed.
Gotta be some weight in the greater sacrifice here.
We got one batch left out. That's it. Look how many of these damn things, how many Harper's agents did it take to research, to try and find a team? Some of them got together, others didn't. It's like a goddamn cult knew where we were every step of the way.
Just gonna have to hope that this last batch can put it together.
Mister, they said they're burning Greenest to the ground. They made it damn clear that they weren't going to stop with just them. They said they were going to kill or convert every last one of them.
Damn it, if they can't do something about it, let's do something about it. Instead of sitting around here waiting for all these letters to come back with pictures.
I'm sorry, but that's easy to say. Someone with gold scales. What do you think about this kid? He's 19 years old. Green dragon scales, doesn't even know anything about the cult of the dragon. Grew up on the line of the forest with druids and a bit of a touch of the fae. Oh, but we thought, hey, he's strong boy. We should recruit them. Who's going to send that letter back to his loved ones? You think the Harpers are going to take the time to pin that? How many are we going to have after what they intend to do to Greenest? You know, goddamn well, they're not going to send anybody out there. They're going to send a handful of agents, and they're going to report back that, yeah, it did. It burned to the ground because it wasn't water deep, and it didn't involve bronze, silver, gold, none of it.
Yeah, but how far, how long before it comes to water deep? You gotta keep trying. I get it. I wouldn't want Tormund's face.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to go, he was ready, I'd let him.
No 20-something-year-old Dragonborn is ready for any of this. I'm not gonna lie, this last batch, it's slim pickings. One thing you can say, they're not greenhorns in life, that's for damn sure. But nobody even close to their age responded back to any of these. We got a farmer, a Fey Walker. We got a wizard with a damn sword. We got one guy who walks around with mummies. He's got sand falling out of his pockets. Says he's the son of some dragon god that we don't even know about, nor should we care or concern with. We should probably be happy that they're not on our plane of existence. We got a damn barbarian that will swing at anything.
I like him already.
Oh. He's got a wild strike. You think Tormund's a handful? Wait till you see the curiosity on this cat.
God help us. Well, the gods above them.
Do you even know? I don't even know who a Nicol Bolas is. What kind of name is that? Yeah,
Some fae.
Either way, he claims that whatever his world is rendered to dust and sand. So at least they've got nothing to lose.
Sounds a lot like Gancaster.
Yeah. That makes Gancaster sound like a paradise.
Ah, home is a paradise. This sounds like, I'm not going in there anytime soon. As if this is our last chance. Yeah, no.
It's not
You
our
gotta give him a
last
little
chance.
support.
It's our last chance for this project.
So let's up and go out with a bang.
It wasn't ours to begin with, but by God, I guess we'll finish it. It's better than them sending out 2 agents that one probably gets killed and the other probably ends up getting kidnapped.
If they do get there, they just pencil push things around, and like you said, they'll just say they burn Greenest down, and nothing will change.
They make the shittiest of spies. Either way, we need to see it out. But we need to get the hell out of there too. If it's beyond our scope and what we can handle. I'm just upset. It's happening during the festival. We got all
help them
those.
get their job done. We clean up and we go enjoy the festival afterwards.
That's what Sean T makes me do. I come out here, I take care of them, we celebrate the harvest, we look at the prized hogs, we look at the pies. Remember that. That's what's going to be going through their minds when we see them. They don't even know what's coming. And worst of all, it's not their goddamn fault.
No, that's why they need us.
Yeah. Let's make Greenest continue to be green. And not the swamp that it once was.
With you, my friend. But I'm not gonna eat those goddamn lemon bars.
I got a problem. He leans down, he begins to eat one even though he doesn't like it. You know I got a problem with sweets. Always have.
There are other things than crappy Harper lemon bars.
You don't get this size not eating crappy lemon bars. He wraps up one and puts it in his pocket.
That's better that you eat. You turn into a little bitch when you get hungry.
Speak for yourself. He puts one in your pocket. I don't want to hear shit when you're halfway through complaining about you didn't eat that lemon bar.
God, we've been on way too many adventures together, my friend. But if I'm gonna go, I'm glad I'm doing it with you.
Let's make sure and get 2 oxen this time, because your big ass can't handle one.
Deal. I'll spring for it.
Well, let's go meet the last pack of Crayolas, shall we?
Every color of the rainbow, huh?
Yeah. Can't
Pray they
shine
knock
shit.
Just pray they knock the piss at whatever this culted the dragon has to offer.
All right, Golden Boy, let's go.
After you.
Who's still awake back at the tower?
Nelson. And Vaknor. Are we just chilling in the common
I think
room,
we're
you know?
all. Well, I mean, I'm still wondering. Just keeping an eye on our Tabaxi prone to fainting individual here.
Oh, and he definitely did not go upstairs to go to sleep.
He went upstairs to beat it.
No, Nelson, damn.
I had a little faith when he teleported over next to me. I thought they were all gonna draw bows, but it's miraculous that large tentacle monster seemed to block all sight. It was really a haphazard sort of plan. I thought I was going to die the entire time.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He just sort of went off and kind of did his own thing. So
I apologize for the smell when we came back in from the ethereal the second time, and I saw the look in his eyes that surely he had no idea or plans left of how to get us out off this haystack. I shit myself.
Are y'all talking about me over there?
Yep. Oh, it's all right. Let it all out. It's all right.
Press
I'm
the
telling you.
digitation me and
Ah.
I can't do that.
All right, fine. And Nelson stands up, comes over, just waves his fingers a little bit and says, press the digit thing.
Yeah, it was a little wild. I thought it was kind of almost like it was like a 50-50 shot that he was going to get you to the ethereal plane on that one. So I'm glad it worked out for you in the long run.
it didn't feel like 50-50. It felt like 5%.
I'll tell you, it worked down the end, didn't it?
I mean, you're all, everybody's here. So.
Right. Listen, I didn't go running off in any caves now, did I?
No, you didn't.
Talking about half-baked plans.
Whoever your lady is, they showed up today.
She tends to do that.
Neeson is going to do the tabaxi curl up into the smallest possible fetal ball that he can, just full on cat mode, just wrapped up into himself. He's been prestidigitation. He's been tended to. He's drank his cup of warm jello that mom bring out. He's finally holding down water. He's gonna try to just catnap.
All right. We'll talk more in the morning then. And I'll let him go to sleep. Yeah.
Is that Tabaxi taking a literal cat nap?
I mean, listen, all right. We're a bunch of chromatic dragonborn getting called traitors left and right, so I'm not going to judge anybody based on anything, so.
That's fine. Thank you, Red Leader.
Listen, well, that's going to stick whether I want it to or not. Well, listen, we got a lot. There's a whole lot of things to think about with this, right? Why is there a cult of the dragon covered in wearing all sorts of blue robes and wielding a blue dragon mask protecting a black dragon hatchery? Why is that even a thing? Why is there a black dragon hatchery in the side of a mountain? None of this tracks. Sums up.
Let me ask you, you hinted at some sort of tragic beginning.
Well, I mean, there's not too much to say. I'd say it's probably more common than I'd like to think, but no, I mean, long story short, my village where I grew up and all the people, my family, there was a unexpected green dragon attack and just out of nowhere. I don't know why. There was no precursor to it. We were farmers. We didn't have great riches and or things to play. Looking for wheat, I don't really have anything to give them. So this dragon, just seemingly as random as it was, came through, destroyed whatever as much as could be done, left most of the town razed or destroyed, and then just left. As soon as sudden as it came on, it's just gone. And, you know, again, kind of summarizing everything, is after that I decided that I wasn't going to try to let anything like that happen ever again to anyone.
Right.
I couldn't protect the people in my town. I couldn't protect my family. So I said, if I can do my best to stop that from happening anywhere else, that's going to be my plan. And then we get to Greenus, and it's the exact same thing. Except now it's a blue dragon, and it's a bunch of people in a farm in town being looted and destroyed for seemingly, well, we still don't really know what reason, other than for the seemingly possibly chaos, maybe stealing some stuff from some nobles. But
First of all, I apologize on behalf of Green Dragonborn everywhere.
it's not, you know how it is. It's not,
Right.
there's
right.
no, but anyway.
So would you dare say that part of the reason that you're here is to ensure that people's homes aren't razed to the ground by strangers?
That would be part of it, yeah. And I mean, if I can get lucky enough to come across that green dragon that caused that, I'd like to enact a little bit of vengeance and put them in their place. And by that, I mean put them in the ground.
And I will happily help you on that, my friend. I just want to point out one thing. Not knowing where we're going to be going tomorrow, what we're going to be doing, I assume that we're going to be going down to that hatchery.
Yep.
Seems like the next logical step.
There's something to be learned from in there for sure.
Vaknor, let me ask you. Those dragon hatchlings,
Mm-hmm.
how are they any different or less innocent than the people in your town?
My friend, I said nothing about killing any hatchlings. I said we got to go in there and see what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen when we get there.
It brings me great joy to hear you say that, and that we might be like-minded on this. Now, we need to make sure that our dear friend Ilkun doesn't try to turn that cave into an omelet.
Well, I mean, you know, who's to say they're eggs? Who's to say they haven't hatched already? We know there's some big one down there roaring and letting everybody know we're coming. Which also, let's be real, we should plan for that, because I don't think we're sneaking in here. I think we're going to be in a situation where everybody knows we're coming. So whether that be traps or ambushes or what have you, we're in the worst possible situation we could be in going inside here, since they all know we're there. And listen, also, we don't know how big this black dragon is. It sounded real big, but it's also a cave.
A cave, right.
But that makes me feel like the entrance that we're blocking, there may be another way out. That would be my guess, is there may be some other way, or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe this dragon can change its size. I don't know how it works. But there may be another way out, which means there's another way in for other things. If we're blocking this entrance, they could be bringing in a ton of reinforcements out the other way. So we don't know what we're walking into, but we need to be on the top of our game. We need to ask Nisam in the morning anything they have, any information we can get, and we need to go about this smart and use all of the tools in our toolkit to the best of our ability.
Right.
And yeah, when we get there, maybe we do find a clutch of black dragon eggs. And I'm not going to come out and say that those are all inherently evil. I can't say what everybody else is going to say. But also, if they're all, I mean, what are we going to do with a bunch of black dragon eggs if we find them?
Well, I have a solution for that. My patron might be able to look after them. And if that adult black dragon agrees to stay out of the fight, perhaps my patron has a place for them to stay too.
I think that's severely wishful thinking, but I like where your head's at.
I'm nothing if not an optimist. It has something to do with corn liquor.
That makes me question all of that optimism immediately, but listen, I swing a stick real good. That's what I do. All right, I ain't got no magic. I ain't got no way to fix every situation. that's what you and Amatti are for. You got the ways to get rid of a bunch of things and magic things in and out, and I hit stuff real good. So that's about what I got. But I'll give you my insight, and I've lived this long, so I must either swing that stick real good, or at least I'm good at finding myself in the right situation. I don't know.
Amatti, sitting upstairs on that combo cot, your thoughts begin to drift.
You see a dimly lit stone hallway, very wide, very tall ceilings. Down the hall, you hear very angry, very loud, raised voices, a man and a woman, one clearly older than the other. You hear shouts about, that's not his name, but this is something that he must do. And then you hear the feminine voice go, he's the last one I have, and I refuse to just give him away. And of course you hear the louder one say, there'll be nothing left if he doesn't do this. And without another word, you hear another large door close, and then a deep sigh. And Amatti kind of peeks around the corner, and you see a very tall, older gentleman, kind of obscured by the dim light. And he goes, how long have you been standing there? Well, not long, but yeah, I heard all of it. And he goes, she doesn't want me to go, of course, but I think I've come to terms with it, and it's not that I have to go, blah, 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 I know that, but I need to do this for me, I think. And the older gentleman just kind of smiles, and he's like, well, I'd love for you to feel that way, but this is much bigger than you. It's much bigger than all of us, unfortunately. And this is something that, unfortunately, only you can do now. And he kind of like, his head drops a bit. He goes, when our family was hit with that curse, I felt like a failure. I didn't know that that's what she was capable of, that's what she would do to us. And Amatti kind of looks at himself, like, just kind of looks at, he's, I see no curse. This is just who I am, who I have been. And his grandfather goes, well, I just don't like that she took the future that you had in store for you away. And he's thinking back to him and a semi-small group of very well-armed soldiers are up in a very snowy mountain, and there's a very large white dragon just at its full peak stretch, and instead of, it rears its head back to, you would think, come down with an icy breath, but no, instead, like, they hear her voice, and what she says to them is, while this game has been fun, I have more interesting ideas in mind. And she points at who you would see as the grandfather now, and your family is now mine. What you've always hated and hunted, they will become, one by one, the eldest son. And he's like, they're dog tired. They've been fighting this dragon for who knows how long. He has no idea what that actually means, and he passes out, and that's the last thing he remembers from that. And then we come back to the scene with him and Amatti. He goes, the only way to stop this from happening to our family and to protect everyone else, you must go. And Amatti nods, Goes, well, as long as I have some sort of guarantee that everyone will be okay, I'll do it. And he kind of takes a deep breath, and his eyes kind of flicker open again on the scratchy cot, and he kind of like turns over. So he can make this anything he wanted, and it's this terrible, uncomfortable sort of. And he kind of like pulls the cover on the side and tries to turn over and go to sleep.
Amatti, would this uncomfortable nature of this cot be reflective of trying to grow up and live with human furniture and beddings, but being a white dragonborn, constantly uncomfortable in your own family's house, let alone possibly in your own skin? Hister. Overhearing the conversations, you can't help but think of those words that Barley had for Greenest. Of course, it's a farming town. They've long tapped into these waterways, harvested this fertile land that used to be a budding swamp. And you realize at that point that what you're dealing with here is the slow and methodic destruction of whoever that dragon's is home that's under the ground. That it's lost its domain over time. That whatever's down there was forced down there a long time ago. Just crossing the fields, you realize that there's something different. That death that was in the air has bubbled up from the ground. How did all those soldiers die? You quickly realize that just laying in these open fields right now will kill you. The toxicity of that black dragon and being underground for so long has finally come to a head. You realize at that point that the Cult of the Dragon may have had an even more sinister plan for Greenest. Not just burn and raze to the ground, but poisoned for the rest of time. Some sort of reclamation. You don't know it, but you have a feeling that whatever this blue dragon scale cult, this wing that Linathan has brought here, may have possibly been long ancient knowledge of a dragon that lived here far before Greenest. Those thoughts simmer with you as you sit by the fire inside of the tower, currently being the only thing locking in what may be down there.
And keeping us off the ground.
Yeah.
Hester in his thoughts, stews on it and reaches into his bag, starts to write on this old, worn leather book. All these thoughts, strategic plans, connections that him and Barley had talked about. When he gets it all out of his head, he flips over the page. That's intricate drawing, charcoal sketch, big spire towers, 3, 4, 5 dragon-shaped bodies, kind of not really drawn in completely. And this Hister takes his pencil and files it down a little bit, starts to work on one of them as he starts drawing every detail of his wife's face on this family portrait he's working on. It's through about halfway and,
Hey, Nelson, where's that drink you promised me? We got things to talk about tomorrow, and it's getting close to bedtime.
Right here, my friend. And he just hands over the jug.
shoulders it, takes a sip while it's on his shoulder, and just continues to sketch a little bit. I'm going to hold on to that nightcap.
And the best part is, my dear friend, it'll refill in the morning.
Oh, if what I think is right, we're going to need every ounce.
You can hear the swinging of an axe outside. One strike, two strike. Any of you that it may catch your attention, you stare outside into the darkness. This storm is still bellowing over. But the one thing in particular that you notice is the lightning kind of streaks and cuts across the sky and lights up the scene that's in front of you. Is that Ilkun is out there chopping down what's left of this tree that's still smoldering. Steam coming off of it. You can see it was easily struck by lightning. As he cuts up a large pile of this wood. You can see he's handing it over. There's a couple of drenched mummies that are carrying this smoldering logs back over. As you can see that Ilkun is working out his own demons his way out in the middle of this storm. And you can see Almuron's assistance slowly bringing back the only wood that would be possible to use inside this fire without snuffing it out. You can smell the ozone and that vivid static in the air off of this tree that has been consumed by Thunderhead. Fire stokes, even turns a light blue as it begins to burn hot. Even Almuron comes in from the storm as it continues to pick up, because you can see the more frustrated and quicker the swings get, the worse the storm outside brews. You can see that Ilkun is taking it out in his actions out on himself. Fortunately, you're warm, cozy. but plenty to think about in the morning. As everybody pulls respectively up to their own bunks in their room. It's tough to tell between the cracks of thunder what might be what lays below, or is the storm above. As you guys finally all doze off and get that well-deserved long rest, the party will pick up in the morning, descending down into the hatchery to find out what truly lies below.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well
Give me
done.
that, Doug, back.
Well done.
I think for reference, I think Vaknor just sleeps in that more comfortable chair in front of the fire, doesn't go up to a bed. That's where he sleeps. Just because it's also it's close to the door, and it's also like, you know, we're kind of scythe in arm, so just in case.
Scythe, lazy boy turned up.
And as he falls asleep, he's like, the damn tower makes its own wood, but I guess it's working on his anger, so it's fine.
I was also thinking that, but I was like, you know what? Good for him.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That's great.
He knows no better. He knows no better. He'll make that good old-fashioned biochar.
That's cool. That was fun.
We have our first entry into the Y.
Yeah.
That was neat.
10 episodes later.
Did it though? It worked out. But,
Oh, it was good.
I just looked at all the stuff I just got back, and good God, we was finna die if we had to go in there.
Yeah, look at all those spell slots coming back.
What did you get?
Like literally everything.
Everything. We're tapped.
Oh my god.
Like I was completely tapped for sure.
Yeah.
Damn. I got back 13 hit points.
You were either gonna have 0 and dead, or you were gonna walk out like Mr. Magoo. Like
Crazy Warlock.
That was fun. That was fun.
More to come very soon, but this is our hard out time for our hard working men, these professionals.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
Girl boss too hard. Nah, I'm tired.
Boston Hart University.
While the audience is saying prayers, go ahead and say that for Maristrand tomorrow night as we push through one of the final dungeons inside of our campaign. We have a whole
yes, right. Good
room
luck.
of fire giants, so we'll take
I've
all your
seen
love
that
and
map.
support.
Yeah,
Good
this
luck.
could be my only campaign pretty soon.
Yeah, you gonna need
Radio,
it. Good
you are a
luck.
delight.
Well, yeah, I saw that map the other night. I wish you guys the best of luck.
First
I hope
room.
you can get some loot because
Ted's tables, baby!
See the tables.
Ted's tables!
They
Listen,
will
like I
probably
said-
be the first people to get loot.
I was gonna say Thursday night we just did the big thing, so we know loot's coming. So
There you go.
let's go.
Loot is on the way. Love you guys. Thanks for everybody sticking it out while we had all of our fucking technical difficulties. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see
Love you
everybody for Tyranny of Dragons
Yeah.
again next Monday. Much love, everybody.
Next week. Slurp, slurp.
Chat. Sucks radio couldn't make it, but good episode.